With Chesapeake Bay gleaming in the distance, we are inside M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, Maryland. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Denver Broncos and the Baltimore Ravens. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
They'll run. This is Melvin Gordon. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. From the gun, it's Locke. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. It's caught inside the 25. And they're going to have this in a great spot way down in Baltimore territory.
2 yards. First down.
So the field flips here as they'll go to work at the 20 now on 1st and 10. Into the red zone, it's Locke. This is the tight end Fant. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. 7 yards, the pickup there.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
On 2nd down, they'll run with Gordon. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Melvin Gordon, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Broncos take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. McManus's point after is good, and it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. From the gun, it's Jackson. Throw left side complete. It's Ingram. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down is Locke. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. And it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick six last week. Not a pick six here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. But that worked really well last week because he made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Justin Simmons.
Well, every now and then we have to let a cliche fly, partner. And in this case, what do they say in the NFL? Your best ability is often your availability. And this is an extremely durable kid coming out of Ohio State. Carried the ball every time they even thought about running it. Wore down defenses and able to break big runs late in games. J.K. Dobbins going to Baltimore, an absolute perfect fit.
39 yards the distance covered on the catch and run.
First and 10.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for first and 10. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
Brought down right at
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
second and 10 at the 21-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10. Jackson with a handoff to Dobbins on the option. They'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
Taken down.
That call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the gun, Jackson. Good work by that Bronco defense, and it leads to a fourth down.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on third down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected fourth down here.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive, followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
He'll buy some time right. Got an open man here, and it's K.J. Hamler. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one good for 26 and a first down. Throwing now is Locke. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That'll allow him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely, frees up your guys elsewhere. Locked to throw on 3rd and 1. Flushed out right. He can run for it, and he will. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports.
Broncos 7, Ravens 3.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Running left, it's Gordon on the toss. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 18 big yards on that one, and a Denver first. As soon as he caught that toss and looked upfield, you could tell they had a big numbers advantage blocking-wise.
They certainly did, which means oftentimes your safety will be unblocked. That means he's got to play it from what they call inside out. Don't let the running back cut back.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Kalen Ballage, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Broncos push further out in front. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Yeah, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, whoever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
On the return, the Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder. It puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. And option handoff here to Dobbins. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Officially, it's no gain on the play, and they'll remain a few inches shy of a first with 3rd down looming.
And less than a yard.
Jackson going to give to Ingram on the option. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. He'll get a couple yards on that one. And it's going to yield a new set of downs. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Rolling to his right. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. Had some good yardage there, too, before he fumbled that football, Charles.
Yeah, just think about it this way. Running backs, as a general rule, they kind of know when the end of a run is near, and you notice how they cover up, right? They protect the football. Sometimes quarterbacks forget that out in the open field. After a while, you start to wonder, does the running back coach visit the quarterback coach and say, hey, I can help you with this. We can protect this and make sure we keep the ball.
They go over the middle, and it's complete to start the drive. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
It's a gain of 10.
It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out by a few inches. That'll be a 1st down. Shotgun snap to Locke. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on. Let's make these babies cry all the way back. 58, come on. Go. Go.
Locke will try again on second down. Now Locke, he lost the football. It's out, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown. Touchdown. It gives some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
Justin Tucker.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive, and suddenly the fumble, and you're watching the back of the defender's jersey as he brings it all the way in the other direction.
Not much more I can add to that. I thought you summarized it perfectly, partner. You've just got to regroup and start putting another drive together. That's all you can do.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
33-yard line.
Here's Locke to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Open man, he completes it to Judy. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 22 yards there, a first down.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense. A little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them. But they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
On 2nd and 12, Locke. That's caught over the middle by Fant. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
It's a gain of 11, and it's 3rd down.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And that is incomplete.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit. Even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
So on 4th down, on comes Brandon McManus and the field goal unit for the Broncos. And quite a bit of pizza in this box. It's a 53-yard attempt. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Jackson from the shotgun. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because had the defense gotten it, they were already within the shadow of the goalpost.
Yeah, and then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Clock now on 1st down. That's going to be caught by Judy. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived. And I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
Well, the great coach has said football's really a simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, the rush won, hitting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
Throwing his lock on 3rd down. Over the middle, complete to Judy. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 1st half. Again, they'll throw with Locke. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
So much for the best laid plans and best designed plays. That was good coverage along the sidelines. No place for that one to get in there. It sails incomplete.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Locke looks to throw it again. Escaping the pressure right toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. KJ Hamler, the intended receiver, but now it's 3rd and goal.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
2 incompletions haven't moved him any closer, and likely throwing again, you'd have to think on 3rd and goal here. Again, it's Locke. And he's got it. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Noah Fant as the 1st half is winding down. And the Broncos will extend their lead.
And that's certainly an important score right there because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the 2nd half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
Takes it at the 7. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
Crochet on the return. The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Justin Simmons up from his safety spot to make the tackle. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Ravens set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the third quarter. From the 10. And able to get this out to the 25.
First and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. On the option, Jackson will keep it. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 24-yard line.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Jackson to throw. They go screen. This is Ingram. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. That'll go as a loss of 5. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. From the gun, Jackson buying time to his left. He may try and run for this. Decent gain on the scramble is 6, but now it's 4th.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they look to add to that lead.
Yeah, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now Balazs. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, it's almost a tendency breaker.
Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
The Ravens take over first.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Jackson going to look to do it himself. And that play goes nowhere. He's met behind the line, and a penalty flag may add insult to injury. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Here's Dobbins. If they didn't have that penalty a moment ago, it'd be a 1st down. Still a nice 13-yard pickup.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Now a man open down the middle of the field, and he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. It's a gain of 35.
Still all sorts of time left in this game, and you'd like to be able to say take it one play at a time. But the truth is, they're probably going to have to hit on a few big plays in the passing game to close this gap, and that's a good start right there.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. About 3 yards there to the 27.
Ball carrier.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Operating from the gun, Jackson. Over the middle here to Brown. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A nice gain of 21 yards. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll run with Dobbins. And the Ravens are going to have it 1st and goal as he'll take this down to about the 3. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them.
No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. They'll try to run with Dobbins. They push forward, but I don't think it's enough. He's going to be about a yard short. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. The offense is staying out there. Here we go on 4th and goal from the 1. Jackson will keep it. Try to wedge his way in there. No signal. I don't think he got there. He didn't. Back now in Baltimore. It's Bronco football, and they also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th. In his end zone, here's Locke. That's caught left side by Judy. And they work this out past the 25. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Denver.
They'll give it to Gordon out of the shotgun. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
KJ Hamler, the intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap. He locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Now Locke. They'll set up the screen to Ballage. And a good job defensively. They stopped him short of the 1st at the 32. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down. Here's Sam Martin now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. This is taken at the 18, and he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over.
9-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. Looking for Andrews again. He's got him this time. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. Option play, and they'll hand to Dobbins. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The Ravens on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
4th down.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Dobbins going to take the handoff on the option. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. And now Jackson will look to throw it. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off near the 34. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
Intercepted.
If they had designs of kind of wiggling their way back into this one, that hurts their chances right there.
Man, to put it mildly, look at the lead, look at the deficit, trying to make a play downfield. Everyone seeking to be somewhat the hero. Didn't turn out that way at all, and you're exactly right. It's going to take a lot for them to have a chance to win this one now.
5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
2nd and 5.
And it looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll get maybe a couple before he's taken down, as that will take us to the 2-minute warning.
2-yard gain on the play. And
So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Taking matters into his own hands, and he picks up 4 yards and a first down. That is an absolute backbreaker. That was a design passing play, wasn't a draw. You think you got him stopped, good coverage downfield, and he's able to pick up the first with his legs. Defensively, that kicks into your psyche and hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and here's the thing. Anytime you give up a first down, it hurts you psychologically, but it hurts more when they get it this way because you've covered everything. He didn't have any place to throw the football. He takes off running and picks it up anyway, and now you have to stay on the field for an extra set of downs.
And really could have used that stop trailing here in the 4th.
brought him down.
4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. K.J. Hamler, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
Makes the score.
Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Their own 25-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And you hate to see this for them, but they're looking at yet another loss to begin this season. Things really going from... And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. From the gun, it's Jackson. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A gain there of 21 yards. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Dancing to his left. He'll try and run it. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
A gain of 9 brings up 2nd and 1.
One last shot for Jackson. They'll roll him out right. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And that will write a finish to this ball game. So this one will wind up a Denver victory, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away, taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for the Broncos, they improved to 5-0 now on the young season. And another road date awaits them next week as their opponents will be the Los Angeles Chargers. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, things aren't looking good. It'll be an 0-5 start. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.